This is the 77 WABC minicast.
Sunday morning. Well, with us today is Congressman Timothy Burchett, and he is from that great state of Tennessee. And, well, you know, I lived in Tennessee for 2 years, Congressman, and I love Tennessee.
Well, we're glad that you did. We wish you'd come down here, and I wish you'd bring a few supermarkets down here. I know in New York they're getting ready to build one for about $20 million. That could take 6 years to finish, and then they're going to turn around and give away the food. So,
well, they have to pay all the overtime with for the construction workers, so it could come out double the budget.
Yeah, exactly. You come to Tennessee, and we'll get it done overnight.
Congressman, there's so many things happening, and one of the items is all of a sudden they're starting to find on our subject, a lot of our scientists that have been missing for years, a few of them, they found bodies. Can you fill in the American people what's going on? And even President Trump started to talk about it the other day, that he is concerned that we're finding dead scientists.
Yes, sir. Peter Ducey on Fox News, I believe, brought that up, and I was so glad he did, and he brought it up again here the other day. So the president is so concerned about it. He's been briefed on it, I believe, now, and I hope that the rest of us get read in on what's going on. It is a very scary situation, and you and I started talking about UFOs, I guess, several years ago. You've been interested in, as I have, and what are we spending all this money on? Where's it going if they say they don't exist? And now you've got people that have been involved in research from the areas that we know do research on unidentified flying objects. So we think there's a tie in there, and imagine if there was 11. Now it's up to 11. It's actually more than that, but just say 11. 11 hosts of radio talk shows across the country disappeared, or 11 preachers died or disappeared mysteriously, or 11 rabbis died or disappeared mysteriously across this country. People would be asking some serious questions about what the heck's going on, and they ought to be, because let's look at the timeline. You and I was talking about this 3 or 4 years ago about UFOs, and then nobody was really paying any attention to it. The president's saying he's wanting some information about it now. The vice president said he wants information about it. And all of a sudden, we start seeing people disappear or die mysteriously or die unexpectedly. And so, yeah, I think America needs to know, and we need to know in a hurry, because people are scared, and they have a right to be.
Well, especially that Major General is missing still. And, he's a two-star general that was in charge of the UFO projects and had testified before your committee, hasn't he?
Well, he didn't actually testify, but he oversaw where it was. I thought it was kind of telling, though. His wife said, he had nothing to do with it. I read an interview. He had nothing to do with UFO studies. Well, these guys are so tightened up. They don't discuss with anybody. I mean, I had a guy out in Oak Ridge who, during the Second World War, he told me he and his wife both worked on the nuclear bomb. I think he worked on the fuse of it, and she worked on some of the circuitry of it. And they, during the entire time, and they were married at this time, that they did not know what the other one did because of the compartmentalization of it and the fear, of course, going to the federal penitentiary. But I just think that there's too much tie-in, and I've actually members of Congress that don't believe anything with the UFOs have come up to me today on the House floor, or last night, early this morning, and let's see, I guess it was Thursday. I'm getting my days; it all runs together, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Anyway, that have come to me and talked to me about that very issue and the tie-in with UFOs. So there's a real concern.
Well, I mean, I'll tell you my feelings. They never told Trump during his first term.
No, absolutely not. They
That's
did
why
not.
he was
And
so
they kept-
surprised when all that stuff was going on over New Jersey just before the election in 2024. He was surprised because he didn't know what we knew.
Yes, sir. And tell you, when I'm in a briefing, ask about does the president know about this, and they tell me that the president is on a need to know basis. To me, that should be a very chilling effect over. We've got unelected bureaucrats who are deciding policy, deciding procedure, and deciding what the American people can and cannot know. That ought to be alarming to anybody.
I agree with you. Do you have any hearings coming up?
Not about the UFOs just yet. We're Luna and I have been talking about it, and we're trying to work out something here soon. But I think we need to have a hearing on this. We need to have a hearing on the missing scientists just to find out. And and I'm tired of every time they tell us, well, we'll give you a briefing in a secured briefing, a skip to where we can't, and that means we can't talk about it. And to me, that's a trick, and that's a trap by unelected bureaucrats deciding again what Congress can and cannot know.
Well, Congressman Tim Burchett, let's continue this discussion and let's watch each other's back.
100%. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.